The culture war is the latest version of the divide and conquer scam. It's your basic hate mongering, a tactic that goes back to ancient Rome. It's in constant use across our society. Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC are major players. The religious right went to town on it in the 1980s. Universities feature anti American history, anti-social sociology, and other forms of cultural sabotage. And exaggerated claims of racism and sexism distract from open borders and other class war policies. The whole set of these is explained in the Big Book of Propaganda available on Amazon, and it's imperative to understand them all. The Scornfest is everywhere. Hate mongers on the net use it as clickbait. That works because tribalism is a big part of human nature. It poisons social media. It's also very profitable. College-trained pundits are greedy for cash, and they could care less about the damage they do. There's an endless supply of them, across the net and on both sides of the aisle. These are typical examples. Bill O'Reilly was a culture warrior on Fox News back in the day. His website plays the exact same tune. One video features Zoran Mandani, the socialist mayor of New York. Hate mongers like O'Reilly beeline to the far left to gin up outrage. Needless to say, they don't mention moderate Democrats or the supply-side policies used to bankrupt the government. The next video claims that Democrats used the shutdown to win elections. How that worked is not explained. We also hear about rampant Obamacare spending. Nothing is said about deficits in the BBB or the savings and efficiency in Medicare. Actually, Democrats and Republicans are controlled by the same interests. They pretend to fight, but they're in league against the voters. The Dems must have known the tactic would fail, and it would have been smarter to pass the bill and create a backlash. But their financial backers are drooling about interest payments on the debt. Interest payments on the debt are a major plank in the supply-side agenda, and it's most likely that both parties use the shutdown to distract from that. But nuanced, factual argument doesn't get clicks like simplistic and venomous lies. There's an endless supply of them, mass-produced by the new generation of grifters and by veterans like O'Reilly. His tales are especially stupid. Only an audience seething with hatred and dumber than dirt would fall for them. On the left is the David Pakman Show. He specializes in slurs and insults. Every title and every thumbnail is poison. Trump clashes and disaster interview. The thumbnail warns about total meltdown, and we don't need to watch the video to know that this is an overstatement. It's like the far left claiming everyone is a fascist. Next, is this the face of a guy who should be in charge? The awful, terrible face is Mike Johnson's, and it's no worse than any other politician's. In the interview, he says that subsidizing the insurance companies is not the answer. That actually makes sense. Of course, Pakman doesn't engage. Debate isn't in his wheelhouse, and conversation is blocked by his dumbass barbs. Let's review. Clashes, disaster interview, total meltdown, disgusting, he's unwell, MAGA Mike Johnson, farmers turn on Trump, etc., ad nauseum. MAGA Mike's notebooks somehow remind Pakman of binders full of women. This is a smear by association. It would make no sense even if the binder scam was legit, which it wasn't. But it's a good way to confuse the healthcare debate. It works because Pakman subscribers are too full of hatred to bother with actual policy. Welcome to the world of endless conflict, produced and directed by corporate media and now shoveled onto the net by college-trained hate mongers. The objective is threefold. It's a cash cow for internet grifters, and it blinds people with hatred to the corruption in their own party. Worst of all, it distracts from 50 years of class warfare, produced and directed by Wall Street in league with college liberals. Trash content is wrecking society. People need good intel to control their institutions. Instead, we're given 100 strains of bullshit. The second worst type of that is the hatred and stupidity of the culture war. The airwaves are now full of hatred and stupidity. True to character, the public can't get enough of it, and the political system is collapsing before our very eyes. The fixes are obvious. First off, ditch the hate fest. Republicans are not the enemy. We're not so great ourselves, and voters on both sides are duped by the propaganda machine. The real enemies are financial elites, corrupt politicians on both sides, editors and professors, and the ever-present, never-ending supply of scam artists. Boycott cable news, unsubscribe from partisan channels, and think before you click. Every view is a command to the search function. They either poison or improve the public square, and they're a good way to reprogram the algorithm. Subscribing and leaving a comment here also would help. Another option is the Big Book of Propaganda, available on Amazon. That describes the real economic system as opposed to the fictional version staged in the university. It also explains the political system. It's clever and funny. It dismantles pundits on both sides, one by one and with maximum scorn. That never gets old. So please, take a break from the trash fest. Understand the tools of corporate propaganda and stop being manipulated by them. Learn how the political system works and take back control of government.